And then that takes me back to the days, at least on Army side, where we're going out there for land nav. By the way, you can't use this, you can't use this. You have this, you have your protractor, you have your map. Start paying attention to your terrains and stuff, and start knowing. And then all of a sudden, like I said, brain food, starting to identify, going, okay, stuff like this is a valley, this is a depression. Okay, I recognize the features and all this. So you start to gain that much more knowledge. So going out there, to learn stuff like that when you're going out there, going, all right, let's see who's with me, and you're paying attention to all those tracks and what's out there. That would be great.
Absolutely, and it has been. I've probably trained since 2010, doing this, and before that was probably with, for the government, trained a lot of people. But as Greenside, we've trained thousands of people. I have no idea how many people we've trained. And we get cops, they call us and say, hey, yesterday I had a guy who jumped out of a vehicle and took off into the woods. He was having some type of medical issue, and I was able to track him down and talk him down, and the situation didn't have to escalate.
Mm-hmm.
And we were able to bring this veteran back into contact with the officers safely, get him into triage and medical care, and diffuse the situation because I was able to track him. If we had to do a wide area search, we don't know how that would have ended.
Right.
And there's cases where my trackers, and I've taught police departments all over the country, my trackers have tracked down and got into gunfights with people, and they win because of what we learned in tracking as the index tracking method specifically. On the friendlier and happier side, mm-hmm. right, I like to focus on more these days. I teach children. I'm teaching
you did touch on that earlier. It was like, what type of training do they get?
So we have been teaching over 10 years now. Me and Marty Allred, the commander for Cochise County Search and Rescue, mm-hmm. and Dave Noland, who was former Cochise County Search and Rescue commander, but he's doing funner stuff now. But so Dave and Marty have always supported our children's program out in Ursula. Hey, Ursula, if you're there as well, from Cochise County Search and Rescue. They've supported this Hugger Tree program. Mm-hmm. And the Hugger Tree program was created back in 1983 by a man named Ab Taylor. Ab Taylor was a tracker for the Border Patrol out in California, San Diego sector. And after he had tracked up to a child after 3 days and found the child had been deceased, he had succumbed to the elements, he decided he didn't ever want to experience that again, so he created the program called Hugger Tree. So Hugger Tree was adopted by a lot of different organizations. He wrote it, and it was designed to teach children, if you're lost, these are the things you need to do. Hence Hugger Tree. It sounds like a hippie kind of
one hears it first, like, oh my God, protect the environment.
Yeah, go protect the tree, Billy.
Not this one.
What it means is to sit still. We teach them how to self preserve, how to retain body heat, a little bit about signaling.
Right.
Paul Maxwell from the Tucson Fire Department comes down. He's a captain out there. Paul Maxwell comes out. He does fire. He'll teach the kids how to do friction fires. And you can tell, you know how important that is coming from a fireman, right? Mm-hmm. Out here in the tinder.
Especially out here, you really want to pay attention.
The tinder forest of the desert. But the kids love it. They come back. I get the same kids every year. And it's funny because we'll get, 30 kids. Mm-hmm. And we've got like 40 dads out there. Like, all right, they know about Greenside. They're
more and more dads are showing up.
Yeah.
I'm going to take them. Who are you?
So it's been really cool. The city of Benson does it. Mayor Joe Conrad's in support of it as well. And it's just been a blast. The kids love it. They always remember me. Now these kids are 18 years old, 20 years old. And
that's outstanding.
It's just a really cool thing to be able to serve, know. And like I said, it's another thing that I got for the military. I created for myself.
Right.
Through what I learned in the military and resiliency skills I learned in the military, how to create those things I got for the military for myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that we have that capacity as veterans. Not everybody has it, because not everybody's a leader in, not every veteran's a leader. Not every veteran's an alpha male. We have these misconceptions. But we do have a capacity to reach for something bigger for ourselves so that we can ensure our own health and safety and
a lot of people will not only make it bigger for ourselves, but turn it around and give back to the community what we learned. So, give a fish to a person or teach them how to fish so that they can provide so much more. And that's the same thing we do is whatever skill we learned, hopefully this helps you and it could go on and just continue on with it.
Right. And Manny was a recent student. He'd been trying. We've been talking for many.
I don't forget about you, Manny. You were eventually coming up in a couple minutes.
So we had we've been talking for many years, and this happens with Greenside. People are trying to come out to Arizona from other states to come to a class, but I can only do so many classes a year. It was about 10 classes throughout the whole country, and only 2 in Arizona, maybe, because I'm traveling the country to do these. And so now I'm full time from a background of federal acquisitions, and I'm focusing 100% on my businesses, which is Greenside.
When did you stop that? I'm sorry, what year did you stop from acquisition? I mean, you went full time into it, so
2018.
Okay.
And I just stopped 2 weeks ago.
Oh, okay.
So now I'm full blown.
He's free.
Yeah.
He's finally cut the cord from the dark side.
Yeah. So I just celebrated my second Independence Day from a tyrannical government. So
that's right.
Just kidding, Uncle Sam. I love you.
We're not paying attention.
So that frees me up. I've got a lot of requests already around the country. We're going to be doing a class in San Francisco, the Redwoods. We did one in Sequoia National Park this year, about 3 months ago, which is amazing. We've got new offerings now. We just don't teach tracking anymore. We're doing camouflage and concealment, and these are adventures for people, just regular Joes. I get people from every walk of life to come experience what it's like to learn observation, enhanced observation skills, situational awareness skills, and tracking. And they may never go to the woods ever again, but they're going to find something that resonates with them in these programs.
Yes.
For their everyday application. And maybe it's just, I need to take more breaks. I need to take more walks outside. I need to cut down my use of technology. I need to read more books. But there's also the experience itself with the other students.
Mm-hmm. That's how I am with karate. It's exactly whatever you do, if you're doing something new, especially with me and my wife, it's kind of new to it, but we're taking stuff away from it because we like it and just went in there full steam. So you take some things away from it, and that would be the exact same way. When we go on hikes, just enjoying the scenery, enjoying the environment that it is, because now you're away from everything. Technology doesn't work. So you can go ahead and just enjoy it. Enjoy the waterfall. Enjoy the walk. Pay attention to what you might hear.
Oh, yeah. It's
I know that happened to us in Miller. We were going up there, and then we were walking up there going, we'll go okay. And then I heard, I'm like, nope, turn around. No. Someone doesn't want us here. I'm going to respect their wishes.
Yeah, there's jaguar up there.
There's jaguar. There's
yeah.
There is bear on top of Huachuca. There was, I'm going to say mountain lion, because I think that's what it sounded like. I could be wrong. But yeah, it was in Miller. Just going some places, yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, and not right. Just the personal safety aspect alone is worth your time coming to a class. And remember, I'll remind you later if you're viewing this, I will do my best to get you in a class based on your circumstances. This is a business. I've got to make money, but I want to get people taught, and I want to get people to be able to share this journey with me and this experience, because it is absolutely amazing. There's nothing like it. And once I get you once, you'll be hooked. You're going to come back for another class, and join the brotherhood of Greensiders. We've got Greensiders all over the country. There's some celebrities, tactical industry celebrities, okay, let's not get too carried away, that are greensiders. So I'm very accommodating and open to helping you out to get in the course, especially if you're a veteran.
So Manny, he said that you've been working with him for a while. So how has this been helping you?
So kind of how everyone has touched on it, like I guess a spiritual aspect of it. But I've been trying to get into a class with Freddie since probably about 2013, and life just happens and things don't add up and didn't work. So we had a class that was this past June over the Father's Day weekend, and it was a blast. And it's one of those things as a veteran, when everyone gets out, we've been talking about camaraderie. You tend to lose that a little bit. You lose that purpose. When we were in, we had a job, we were important. We served a purpose, we mattered, and that kind of goes away when you get out. You lose that feeling. Mm-hmm. During this course, my brother was in it, also a Marine. A couple of our friends, different walks, plumber, a carpenter, a drywaller, some civilians with no LE backgrounds, no military backgrounds, just out there for the experience. And by the end of it, we were all buddy-buddy. We were all greensiders, as Freddie put it. We went through the same thing. We endured the same thing. And this class was in Casa Grande in June in 110. I think we sparked at 111 degrees out there. And no one gave up. Everybody was in it. The will and excitement to learn was amazing. And it was eye-opening how you just touched on about being in nature and, listening and hearing things. We all have that inherently. We all know that, those are tracks. Something is here. Freddie said that there's a language now. We can all track something to some extent, but when you can get into the real nitty-gritty and in the specifics of it, it opens your mind. It's like putting a puzzle together now, and that's what we do on our phones when we're playing brain games. It's a puzzle. You're doing the same thing tracking, whether it's a person, whether it's animal. It's refreshing. It's disconnected from the everyday mundane rush of constructed life to being in nature and being where we're supposed to be. Getting that experience brought a calm. I am a PTSD veteran. My Fallujah overshadowed his Najaf, I guess, but there's so many things from that. The hypervigilance, the constant on edge has been more focused and directed now. The hypervigilance, it's outside hypervigilance, it's attention to detail. We're all taught it, but now you're directing it again specifically for tracking. And not only on the tracking aspect, like Freddie said, it's just opening your eyes, opening your senses. The class that I took was Weaponize the Senses. And that was a focus on your senses. Stop, look, and listen like you're on a patrol. You're smelling, you're hearing, you're looking, you're feeling. Change in wind. Like there was so much going on that you were connected and now grounded to nature. And that was a high. And like Freddie had said, that you become addicted. I'm going to be taking another course with him here soon. And probably one after that and one after that. It is addicting. Freddie put it during the class that tracking can be a gift and a curse. And I don't quite have a curse, I don't think, yet. But there is an itch and there is a bug. And outside of anything, I volunteer for an organization called Heart. They're based out of Phoenix, and it's a humane rescue and I'm a trapper for them. Tracking will come in excellent handy to look for a lost dog, look for a lost cat. But the one purpose that I really wanted to get into it is I live in Tucson, Arizona. I'm originally from there. But over the past maybe year or so, there's been a lot of vulnerable adults that have gone missing from like nursing homes and such.
Right.
And some that have been close by to where I'm at. And it was just one of those things where, well, if I could help, I should help. And I'd gone out a couple of times to try to help and look with no direction. And now I'm trying to get direction to be able to maybe actually help rather than just roam around. You know? So for me, it's given me purpose again. Whether it's a break-in case of fire type situation, or somehow I'm just out there every day tracking anything. But it's given me purpose. It's given me a feeling that, you know, if I'm needed, I can do something and I can be able to help. And then that should be me giving back to my community.
Yeah, lending your skills after what you're learning and you just keep using them again. That's amazing. Especially now you want to get out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel
That's
like
a huge
now
leap.
that it's more than just walking around aimlessly. You know, like I can have a specific direction to focus on, specific things to look for, to try and lend a hand.
Yeah.
But yeah, for me, it's been great, and I got bit by a bug that I want to be in more classes. I'm looking for books and such that Freddie has recommended just to read up on stuff, just to get more. The more you could put in your tool belt, you know, the better. And I've never been interested in like anything else tracking, never really given it a thought, but you know, I've known Freddie for a long time, and when he started kind of putting that out there, something went and clicked in my head as, you know what, that makes sense, you should do it. So I jumped in on it, and hopefully I can jump in more.
Yeah, it's pretty good, especially when you said you Casa Grande, 110 something degrees, and everybody was there the entire time.
Yep.
That's true commitment. Is like going, hey, we're totally on board with this. We like it. We're enjoying it. And like you said, I want more.
Yeah. It's definitely a fire hose. You know, I opened up the fire hose on day one with a lecture. You know, I talk about the processes. I nerd out a lot on what I do. And he mentioned, Manny mentioned a language, and that's what I bring that's so unique to, that's what Greenside brings that's so unique to tracking in the tracking realm in the country, right? There's a lot of Border Patrol agents, excellent trackers out there. There's nobody that tracks more than Border Patrol agents. There's a lot of military trackers. There's probably more military trained trackers and law enforcement trained trackers than ever in history right now, formally trained by schools, which is great news. What I bring to the table is creating a language. I had an instructor tell me a long time ago, 20 years ago, he said, Freddie, every footprint is a word, a couple steps a sentence, his whole trail written, his story written upon the sand. And I said, oh, that's great. Can you teach me that language? How to read that story? I said, oh, that's a Sherlock Holmes. It's in a Sherlock Holmes book. Don't be so literal, Freddie. And I said, okay, well, I'm gonna learn how to do that. So I created a language. I literally used the way Western society teaches children how to read and do mathematics in order to teach them how to track. I used the exact same process. And I explained that in the first lecture called Primal Learning, the difference between a domestic dog and a wild dog. They have the same gear, their nose is the same, the ears are the same gear makeup. But the difference is their first 6 weeks of development, and that affects them the rest of their lives. And that's what we have today in modern society, is we are so tech heavy and vehicle heavy as operators as well, that we're afraid to get away from vehicles. We're afraid to set the tech down and just use these Mark I eyeballs, you know, our listening devices on the side of these big grapes, and get out in the bush and hunt. You know, we have this innate hunt drive in us as humans, and bite drive for some of us, right? But that hunt drive can be harnessed. You know, when I tell my students in the morning, first day, don't eat a big lunch because you're going to suppress your hunt drive. I want you tracking hungry, right? You feed yourself, you have no need to hunt, right?
Yeah.
So it's like ketones, right? The old ketones process we talk about. You've suppressed your hunger. Well, your hunger is what drove you to want to kill. So tracking was part of that. And by doing that, it starts to get them thinking, okay, wow, this guy's not only almost crazy, but maybe he's onto something. You know, maybe I have some things that are hidden to me, and I've had these my whole life, but I haven't woken it up yet. And at the end of the course, like Manny's alluding to, we wake something up in you, and you get this hunger for more. You have this feeling of satisfaction that you've been missing since you were in the military as a veteran. And once you get that patch, the green side patch is a spiritual moment. It's another moment that you used to feel when you're military, when you accomplish something.
Like a rite of passage.
Rite of passage, right? So I welcome all people to come. I absolutely love teaching. I get to meet, guys and girls from all walks of life. I have return students. The patches you get are based on performance. So if you come to the school, you're not guaranteed a patch.
Right.
At the end of 2 days of tracking training or anti-tracking or camouflage and concealment, advanced optics, whatever we're doing, you're not guaranteed a patch. And you can't buy a patch for me.
No.
You can only earn it. And in the training industry, that's unheard of. And that's what really, I'm aligned with the top small unit tactics trainers in the country. And I earned that position over 12, 15 years. And that patch has a lot to do with it. I make people earn it.
Oh, yeah.
The top patch, that's a green patch, the green side patch. I'll bring some next time we're on the show so we can show folks. And you can see it on my website, greensidetraining.com as well.
And that is also going to be in
you got one. Hey.
Oh, look, here we go. Ooh, that is nice. Wow.
So that's the green side patch. It means a lot to Greensiders.
That's nice.
And it's a lifetime membership. Once you get a green side patch, it's a lifetime membership. The black patch is reserved for our alpha wolf of every class. So it's the top performing student. I measure all metrics. My system is completely scientific. It's identifiable, it's explainable, and it's reproducible. Everything I do. I have a lot of spiritual belief that is associated with tracking as a Pasquayaki Indian. Pasquayaki Indian is a mix of naturalistic. Our religion is a mix of naturalistic and Catholic beliefs. But when I teach my students, I'm making sure I'm using the scientific method. Because if they're a police officer, for instance, they might have to testify in court of what they're actually what they saw on the ground at a scene. So I use a scientific method to do that. The language is really cool. I probably should put a trademark on the stuff that I've created. It's really cool stuff, man. But the black patch is reserved for the top performer. Yeah.
Top of it.
And I've awarded 65 to this date over the last 15 years. Only 65.
Hey, you really got to go to your way to earn that.
And only a couple. There's 2 people who have two black patches. And there's one person who's a young lady who's a National Park Service Ranger out of Wisconsin and Arkansas, actually. And she has 3 patches, and she's the only one.
Wow.
So it's a very unassuming person, quiet, no military experience, no law enforcement experience. She shows up, doesn't say a word, and when I do the evaluations, I see how good you are as a tracker. I see how well you smell, how well you use your ears, how well you perform with other teammates. And then I do different tests, and then I get the other instructors together. We look at the scores, and then we say, okay, based on the scores and what you see, who's my best tracker in this class. And this person did it 3 times in 3 different courses.
Oh, that's amazing.
And it was pretty amazing. So,
do you offer weekend classes, or is there stuff throughout the week? Or I mean, you said 3 different courses, so I'm assuming there's several different courses to go through, and I'm sure this could be seen on the website or whatnot. Or
yeah, so the schedules, there's classes on the website, greensidetraining.com. Select the class. Our primary class that made us famous was Weaponize the Senses.
So would that be like what you would consider an intro?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But there are no prerequisites for anything. You can jump in any class at any time. I'm going to make sure you're caught up for anything. Classes will go on weekends. So we usually do classes on weekends because I've got to travel Friday. I fly out to where I'm going to train at. Get there, 0 dark 30, pitch a tent or something, or a hammock, sleep in the woods, and then the morning the students meet me in the woods somewhere around the country, some forest I've never been to. Luckily, I haven't been eaten by a bear yet, but I've been tracked by bear and wolves and mountain lion. So, but I've been lucky because I can't travel with knives because I only take a pack with me.
Oh wow!
So anyways, it's really easy to get a class going. Just contact me if you want something that's not on the schedule or on the website. We'll throw some dates back and forth, nail something down. I tell you the requirements. I'll help you get the rest of the students. I'll find the training property. I'm pretty good at that all over the country at this point. I've been doing this for 15 years. And we'll make the training happen. So
that's cool. There was something else I think you said. You were maybe thinking of maybe offering something for people here at the Warrior Healing Center that might be interested.
Yeah, I think it would be a good. I think based on your operations here with, you guys service a lot of people, and it's important. If I could get other people the experience that Manny had here, people that they just want to. They're like, oh man, I'm just in a slump. I need something. Just need that spark. This could be it.
A little motivator. Yeah.
This could be it. What's your next purpose going to be? Maybe you don't want to get in jiu-jitsu because you don't like rolling around with other dudes. I don't. So I'm gonna moving on. So maybe this is, or you don't like, you don't like the things that are offered. Hey, I would be happy to contribute my time for Warrior Healing Center. Put a class together. We can talk dates and do a class either this fall or winter or early spring.
It's like you want to do something, you're not sure, you're looking for something. Sometimes, and it's also been with me, and I know it from what Manny said, obviously, you want to get outside your comfort zone. Go outside, put your foot in the water, give it a test, see how it is.
Yeah.
You don't know, you might just like it. So, but you won't know unless you go out and try.
That's right.
So, by all means, it would be nice if it's possible, especially if you give like a little intro or anything in nature. I mean, obviously, you're going to do you.
Yeah.
But if you pitch a tent in the backyard over a Warrior Healing Center, I got to show you the pond at least that's back there.
Okay, good. That sounds good.
Cement wood line, if you will.
So yeah, we can make it. Yeah, we can make it happen. We've also got a cool course called Grayside Hunter. That one's coming up in December. I've got a class you can sign up for right now in Arizona. It's going to be in Casa Grande in October 19th and 20th. That's a Weaponize the Senses. Come meet Manny and some other guys out there. We've got sponsors that come out. They show gear. You're a gear guy who's interested in the latest stuff out there. Well, I'm associated with a lot of companies who come and they want to test their gear out in my courses. So I'm partnered with Pulsar Optics, which is a thermal optics company. You can get a special discount through me for if you're interested in some thermals. We have a new shoe company coming on board. They're making tactical moccasins. Well, they're not really tactical moccasins, but they're very, very fortified leather boots that have soft soles for sneaking up on deer. And those are going to be the official shoe of Greenside Training. I'll wear those all my courses, and you'll especially like those during an anti-tracker course. The anti-tracker course, I teach you how to evade trackers. And I teach you some other cool tradecraft and bushcraft that you'll find really fun to learn and try against my trackers. I get 2 of my best trackers. They track you for 2 days, and you get to do naughty things to them, I'll just say that, with different devices in the bush. So we teach you that. We take care of you. We feed you. In some instances, we feed you. We can help you get lodging if you need. A lot of the times we're camping out under the stars, burning some steaks on a grill, drinking some sodas. And that's the best part of it.
Oh, yeah. Especially that. Especially military take back going, oh, yeah, we're going to a train X, we're going FTX, whatever it is, or we're going out, getting back out into the field.
Yep. So
my wife loves the wood line anyway, so she'd be like, well, let's go.
That's awesome.
Can we pack something first?
Right, yeah. And people bring their wives. They bring their, father, sons came for Father's Day weekend. That was a great
Always
time.
good bonding.
Right. And we get people from all over the country. So you got to get in early because this next class is October 19th and 20th, Weaponize the Senses in Casa Grande. We have a classroom out there, full training area. We have vehicles at our disposal that you wouldn't believe. Armored vehicles to bus you around. You've probably never been in these type of armored vehicles. They're pretty cool. We have thermal optics for demo at night when we're out there eating steaks. I'm going to be teaching you about how to properly use thermal optics. Some night vision. If you haven't been behind night vision since your days romping and stomping in the military, you get to see some of the latest night vision I'll have out on display for you to check out and purchase if you want. We have drones, just very high-end drones at our disposal who are going to be taking hero shots of you during the classes, and we'll send it to a share drive, distribute it to the students after the course, and you get to see yourself with a hero shot, looking like Soldier of Fiction and living your best days, man. And that's what it's all about. It's about having fun and getting a new experience, and you leave with a tangible skill. I guarantee you will learn how to track. I pay very, very personal attention to each one of my students. So come out. Love to have you. Remember, October 19th and 20th is Weaponize the Senses. And then second weekend of December, that's a Saturday and Sunday. 14th and 15th this year is in Tucson, Arizona. That's Grayside Hunter. Grayside Hunter, I'm going to teach you how to track through an urban environment. We'll be tracking through downtown Tucson on concrete. Okay, body fluids may be present. Whatever the hell Tucson offers.
Tucson is Tucson. If you've been there, then you know.
During a Sunday afternoon. And we track through downtown Tucson. We end with a scenario where you're tracking somebody actually through downtown Tucson. You get to the end of that scenario. I have something set up for you, which is a really cool surprise. You get to do a little bit of human profiling. And I'm teaching you some advanced observation techniques from a hidden position in Tucson.
Nice.
Right? And then after that, the exercise ends. We debrief, and then we all walk down to one of my favorite restaurants, the El Charro Grill.
I heard of that place.
Downtown El Charro. And we eat a nice early dinner. And I pat you out, and then we say farewell.
Profiling, body fluids, and food. One more.
Not necessarily in those orders.
Not in that order.
So yeah, come hang out with me.
Scare the body fluids out of others, maybe.
So it's a good time. We teach it's a great time. So I'm welcoming you. I'll have a special discount code for Warrior Healing Center put up on through the system. So if you're going to register for a course in the next couple months, we're going to use WHC 20. So WHC 20 will be the discount for a 20% discount on my courses, and you will definitely not regret coming through the course. More importantly, the people you're going to meet and the network you're going to make through Greenside is just amazing. Other Greensiders out there you're going to meet, after you go through the course, are people who are going to help you if you ever need a hand. Or even just go hunting or tracking with you, on a weekend. So there's a lot. You got a lot going.
There's a lot. Definitely check out that website, Greenside
Training.
Greenside Training. Check out the website. Also up above in the description, by all means, check out his Facebook page. Check out his Instagram page. And also the contact info is up there. By all means, check it out. I know I'm going to check it out a little bit more. I want to hear more about it. And after this, Kathy don't know it yet, but we're going to go visit her real quick so we can have a conversation as well. So be ready, Kathy. I can hear you running now. All right. So I want to thank you for coming out. I do appreciate it, man. Thank you, Freddie. I appreciate it. Thank you for coming out. Looking forward to more. Maybe one time to actually get out there and get a couple snippets of this is what it's like being out there.
Sounds like a deal.
Looking forward to it. All right, this is our show for today. Next week, we hope to be back. Hopefully, we can find a veteran-owned business that wants to come on here and talk about what they do, or else we could go out there and see what they do. But the only way we could do that is if you get involved. So by all means, come on out, check us out, share this video, leave some comments. For example, Marcus, hey Erik Ziva, what's going on? Isabel Vaughn, Izzy, her great uncle was just like this man. And unfortunately, it looks like the live has been on and off. That's what I was checking at one point. So there's a little bit of one, but I think it's popped out real quick and then came back on. So just in case, be reviewing the video as well, just to make sure that at least the gist and all that was all there. So hopefully nobody misses anything. But if there is anything that you wanted to go back on, his contact info is up there. So by all means. And if it's not up there, we're definitely going to put it in the comments as well. So until next week, we will see you. And by all means, remember this. If you haven't heard from someone in a while, you talk to someone, you have a friend, whatever in the past, and you guys haven't really touched on once in a while, it might be a good idea to reach out and say hello. It is amazing what the power of one word can do, just to check up on somebody. You don't ask them for anything. You don't need anything. Just going, hey, hi, how you doing? Just has been a while. Just want to check up on you, see how it's doing. It's amazing what one word can do. Until then, y'all take care. My name is Erik Z, and I will see you next week. Have a good night.